following post is a work of fiction created for entertainment within the video game universe of College Football 26. All characters, events, and storylines, including Coach Clay Stonewall Merritt, Frankie the Horn Calderon, and the UTSA Roadrunners, are entirely fictional and not affiliated with the NCAA, UTSA, or any real institutions. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, UTSA fans, gaming fans, football fans, all the same. We are very excited. We are getting set to send it out to San Antonio live here on 94.3 The Bird and the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel. We will have Frankie the Horn Calderon on the call once again for this week's in-conference, in-state rivalry matchup. The UTSA Roadrunners, undefeated after taking care of the Temple Owls, not to be confused with today's opponent, the Rice Owls, last week in Philadelphia, 28-0, getting themselves back into the shutout column. It was a great performance, especially after we all know the scare that we had 2 weeks ago out there in Fort Collins. Frankie was nervous. Coach Merritt never broke. Owen McCown continues to lead this team, and we are going to see what he has in store for this Rice team. Rice enters the game with a lot of confidence. There's been a lot of chatter, a lot of talk back and forth on both sides. It is going to be interesting to see if Frankie notices any kind of emotional outbursts from this UTSA team, because so far what we've seen from this Rice crowd, Rice fans, Rice supporters on message boards, wherever you talk about college football, enjoy the moment, Roadrunners. Owls run the night, and you will run you out of your dome. Quarterback Clayton from the Rice Owls had this to say: the Roadrunners don't scare us. We don't need brains to beat them, but we definitely have more of those. This is disrespectful. I think that there needs to be a lesson taught to this Owls team coming in, that if you mess with a team that is proven, it's going to be different than what you're used to. This is not the same pretty little UTSA team. This is not what they were back when they were FCS level. This is the new FBS Group of 5 powerhouse, and you have to deal with them for a full 4 quarters, whatever that means to you. So with that, we are getting ready to send it live to San Antonio. Frankie the Horn Calderon here on the Rise of the Roadrunners series. UTSA hosts the Rice Owls. The brotherly rivalry is as old as humankind and storytelling itself. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to 94.3 The Bird here on the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel with Frankie the Horn Calderon, getting you set for week 6 of UTSA Roadrunner football action via our Rise of the Roadrunners series. We have just that today in store for you, a brotherly rivalry of 2 in-state schools in the great state of Texas, looking to establish themselves as the next echelon and the future of college athletics here in the Lone Star State. We are live in the Alamo Dome, getting set to host American Conference foe, the Rice Owls, as they enter with a record of 3-3, coming off of a victory in their last outing. The UTSA Roadrunners got back on track last week on the road in Philadelphia, taking down the Temple Owls, who are still winless on the season, 28-0. Coach Clay Merritt, Brock Chambers has the ball on the tee, and we are set for football. You can feel the electricity in the air from this one. There's been a lot of talk going back and forth, and we are underway. Return starts at about the 5-yard line. Nice little shift there. And he gets through to the 20-yard line, up the hash mark. Here we see Quentin Jackson, junior running back, having a stellar season, stellar performance last week. This Rice offense is going to see what they can do against the Southwest Sac Exchange, one of the toughest defenses in the country, and definitely the toughest run defense in the country, according to the statistics, as we have a I formation, wing to the left. That's a goal line formation on the opening play, and we get a lot of space from that Rice running game. Nice play call from the Owls. I think they might have caught UTSA's defense off guard. Handoff this time out of the pistol formation, and Shad Banks Jr. sniffs that one out quickly. Loss of 2 on the play. Big number 17, fifth-year senior, captain, team leader, newest member of the Southwest Sac Exchange with Kendrick Blackshire after last week. Now we're going to get a handoff here out of the shotgun, and Shad Banks Jr. is going to double his total up. That is 2 back-to-back tackles. Both sides have not been quiet about their disdain for one another. The fans of the Rice Owls believe they have a high and mighty superiority with their academic standings, as now we get a pass this time from Rice, and that's going to be enough for a first down. So where we saw 3rd and 12, UTSA not able to get Rice off the field, this has been a little bit of a trend recently. Once they settle in, they normally do pretty well. The Rice fans have been very vocal about what they believe is going to happen during today's contest. UTSA doesn't say much. Their coach does not like them saying much. But what I can tell you is that there's been a lot more aggression in practices this week, as we see a big tackle that time by number 10, Kendrick Blackshire. That one was on number 3, Max Baltazar. Seeing a myriad of running backs here from the Rice Owls and a lot of different formations. Goal line all the way to spread, pistol. We get a passing situation here, 3rd down and 10. We're going to get our first sack of the afternoon. Cameron Blaylock, SEC Commissioner of the Southwest Sack Exchange, in there for his first sack of the contest. Creighton Jr. had a lot to say about Owen McCown, about this Rice team not being average, being able to just run themselves through this conference. And I think that the UTSA defense has heard him, and they made their response loud and clear. We're going to get a punt here, first of the afternoon, number 33, Mekhi Anderson. 2 punt return touchdowns already on the season. He gets a very nice return, setting up his offense, heading towards midfield along the left side hash mark. And here comes the 6'1", 190-pound junior, a native of Rusk, Texas, Owen McCown. 18 touchdowns on the season. He is joined in the backfield with 6th-year senior Robert Henry Jr. Henry Jr. will get the first handoff of the game, and that one not going for much. He will find his way for a yard past the line of scrimmage. That will bring up 2nd down and 9 from the 42-yard line of the Roadrunners. This time we get a passing play, shotgun formation. McCown over the middle. That's number 14, Devin McEwen, not able to hang on through the contact. Not really seeing that much from him. McEwen has been one of the big explosive leaders, always scoring touchdowns, it seems, always making plays when he has to. That one he's unable to hold on to. Now we get 3rd down and 9. Read option play. McCown did not see the defensive end sit. Andrew Awe is able to move this UTSA offense off the field, and now we're going to get a punt from Chambers. This one really high, doesn't go very deep at all. That's an unfortunate situation there. A different player called for the fair catch, a player that was initially engaged in a block. Zach Morris, number 20, is going to get called for the fair catch interference, and now what was going to flip the field to the Rice side, the Owls are going to start in UTSA territory at the 46-yard line. Handoff this time to Jackson. He gets stuffed along the left edge. Number 13, Owen Pewee, with a tackle for loss there. 2nd down and 13 for the Owls. No score, 2:27 and counting. We're going to get a pass to the left side along the sideline. Patrick Creighton Jr., 2 for 2 so far on the day. That one is good for 15 and a first down. Rice has a couple receivers that combine to make up for the explosivity of McEwen, as now we get a run straight up the middle, and Quentin Jackson, 19-yard rush directly through the heart of the defense, and now we have a 1st down and goal, first down and 10, first time either team make it into the red zone from the 20. Jackson's going to find his way forward for about 3 more. What does this Roadrunners defense have in store? The crowd that's here is trying to get behind them. Rice leaves it with the back. Jackson, he's going to get knocked backward. Number 10, Kendrick Blackshire, his first solo tackle, first tackle for loss on the day. 3rd and 10. What does this defense have to stop them? They've been good so far. That one over the middle, crossing route, wide open, touchdown Rice. The Owls will take a lead, first lead that the UTSA Roadrunners have given up all season. It took long enough, and now we're going to have to see if they have the wherewithal to bounce back. Artise Cole, number 28, one of those 2 receiving threats. Creighton Jr. just found him perfectly in that man coverage. Lost across the middle, and Cole will bring a 6-point lead to the Owls, looking to add on with the extra point here. Extra point is up and good. We have an injury. Will Swartz looks like he's holding his ribs gingerly there from the Rice Owls. Both sides going to head back to the sideline, and I believe Coach Merritt is going to have a nice long conversation with both sides of the ball about handling their emotions. I know Rice was talking a lot, but that has been what the mistakes have been so far. Bad tackling, not being able to hold on to the football in big moments. First down and 10 for the Roadrunners after the touchback from the 25. Two tight ends in the formation. McCown finds Henry Jr. out of the backfield. Nice little pass play there. First down of the drive. Under 2 left to go in the first quarter. We have two receivers to both sides. Henry Jr. gets the handoff out of the shotgun formation. Breaks one tackle. Keeps fighting forward. That's a good 5-yard gain. That's using your emotion and your energy to your advantage. 2nd and 5. McCown to McEwen. That has been a potent combination so far. McCown 2 of 3 for 20 yards on the day. McEwen gets the first down, sets up the Roadrunners at midfield. Spread formation. Mesh concept there from the Roadrunners. Number 18, David Amador II, after a huge breakout game last week. Only a 3-yard crossing pattern there. 2nd down and 7 with about 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. McCown scanning for a long time. Nice protection there. He finds McEwen in the open field along the right hash mark. All the way inside the red zone down to the 18-yard line. First down, Roadrunners. McEwen starting to find a hot hand. So is McCown from the backfield. Looking to see if he can inch closer to that 20 passing touchdown mark. Houston Thomas, big tight end, goes in motion. Read option. McCown's going to keep it going up the middle. It's only good for about a 1-yard gain. You don't want to lose the momentum you've built up after the big passing play. We'll see what they have on 2nd down and 9. Nobody picking up the blitz, and Rice is going to be able to get in there for a sack. Number 3, Ty Morris, is going to end the first quarter with the Roadrunners marching backward. 7-0 the score. As you can see the comparison, both teams finding their footing early. This is a very charged emotional rivalry. Rice has not beaten the Roadrunners in 9 years. It has been a long time since Rice has seen success against UTSA, a team that they believe is inferior to themselves. 8-4 is the record right now. UTSA finds himself on an 8-game winning streak, but they find themselves down 7-0 to start this second quarter. McCown in the shotgun. McEwen, nice crossing pattern over the middle. He's in the open space. Fights through 2 tackles. Touchdown, Roadrunners. They ended the first quarter going backward. Captain to captain. Lots of room after the catch for number 14, Devin McEwen. Fighting forward for that extra yardage, and he fights his way past the goal line. Huge play to even this thing back up at 7. Last season, these two teams met about the same time this year in Houston. UTSA came away with the 29-27 victory. Most of the time, the home team has the advantage. Last season was one of the few times that Rice went down to UTSA in Houston. That kickoff return, able to get out to the 25-yard line. As we're going to see Swartz go down again, holding his ribs. Very interested to see if they're going to continue to try and put him back out on the field. Injury timeout as we get set for Rice's 3rd offensive series of the game. Nickel package in for the Roadrunners. Shotgun formation for Rice. Jackson gets the handoff, finds a little bit of space along the right edge. Dances down the sideline for a gain of 8. Testing this UTSA defense in their run game. Full house out of the pistol formation here. That one, little misdirection handoff. Looked like it was an option setup. No gain on the play. That brings up 3rd down and 2. Alamodome starting to get rowdy to send these nerds back to the sideline. Play action fake. Shotgun pass. Going deep. Unable to maintain possession through the contact. That was a big shot there from Rice on 4th down and 2. That will bring out the punting unit for the 2nd time today. Anderson will set up at his 25-yard line. Gets a couple of blocks and a 10-yard return. UTSA knotted up at 7. Will set up what looks to be a return drive here from the 35. Left hash mark. White helmets, white pants, orange jerseys. McCown firing across the middle to his tight end, Houston Thomas. Made a catch between a few different defenders. Nice strong hands that time. 2nd down and 1 after the 9-yard reception. Now Henry Jr. going to put in some work on the ground. Body blows, body blows, body blows, as Coach Merritt likes to say. Last weekend we saw a lot of those body blows. Over 25 carries for Robert Henry Jr., the 1 receiving touchdown, and over 100 yards on the ground. 1st down and 10 from just beyond midfield. Henry Jr., really big opening that time along the right side. And we're going to get another injury this time for Rice. DJ Arkansas is going to be helped off the field. 4 attempts, 24 yards. That one, longest run of the day for 23. From the 38-yard line, McCown out of the shotgun. Finds McEwen on that deep in-cutting route again. Same play that they scored on in the previous drive. McEwen snags it for about 10. And now we have a 1st down and 10. Nearing the red zone. Henry Jr., nice cut in the open field. Shook the safety off his shoes. Oof. You're not going to want to replay that one in film. Not that you study film. You're going to be spending more time studying for your classes. That's what you guys are good for out there in Houston. I really don't like the way that they talked about this team before the game. 2nd down and 1. Henry Jr. up the middle behind his big center, Ben Rios, number 57. Gain of 3, that'll move the chains forward, and now the UTSA Roadrunners from the 11. Trying to take their first lead of the contest. That slant pass intended for McEwen knocked away at the last second. Only the 2nd misfire from McCown so far in today's game. 2 receivers split out to the left side. Henry Jr. in the backfield. Going through the middle, that one tipped around 2 UTSA Roadrunners in the area. When the space condenses this close to the goal line, sometimes you have multiple receivers and not quite sure who that one was intended for. We're very lucky that fell harmlessly to the ground. Amador the 2nd now on the in-cut route from his slot position. About a 9-yard gain. That'll bring up 4th down and 1 from the 2. Clay Merritt has a chance to make a statement in this one. 4th down and 1. The Roadrunners are going to go for it. Shotgun pass. Slant pattern to McEwen. Touchdown Roadrunners. The Roadrunners regain the lead with 2:24 left to play in the first half. Devin McEwen, Owen McCown notched their 2nd scores of the contest. That time McCown, as he's getting taken to the ground, somehow fights that pass forward. McEwen is the rock-steady presence, bringing it in for the score. Extra point by Chambers is good. That 10-play, 66-yard drive nearly took 2 minutes off the clock. And now Rice is going to have to play from behind. Chambers boots this one to about the 4, right along the numbers. Ooh, big hit that time at the 20. UTSA is starting to find some of their momentum. Travis Scott blaring through the speakers of the Alamo Dome. Full house set from the pistol. Jackson's going to get the handoff going straight up the center. Cameron Blaylock patrolling the A-gaps. He's going to bring him down for a loss of 3. Patrick Creighton Jr. now in the shotgun. Freshman quarterback. Draw handoff that time goes to Jackson. Nice gain on the draw play. That'll get back about half the yardage they needed. It is 3rd down and 6. That is going to bring us to the 2-minute timeout. Big 3rd down for this game as we inch closer to halftime. If UTSA can get the Rice Owls off the field, they have a chance to extend their lead and prove their dominance. Handoff goes to Jackson. He finds enough space along the edge and a little bit of extra up the left hash mark. 1st down after about a 12-yard run. Bad tackling from this UTSA defense. They're going to have to settle down at halftime. Blitz coming off the edge. Nobody picked him up. Number 31, Vic Shaw with his first sack of the contest. The Southwest Sack Exchange heating up. That's 4 sacks on the day total. Creighton Jr. looking to pass again, and he's going to get sacked again. Vic Shaw, back-to-back plays. Flex your muscles, big man. Knocking the Rice Owls all the way back to where they started this series from, the 25-yard line. 3rd down and 23 following the 2 sack plays. Creighton Jr., number 14, looking to throw. Pressure in his face once again. Deep shot, unable to be called in. Artis Cole couldn't get that one down the right sideline. Rice will be forced to punt, and UTSA will have about 1:24 to see if they can add to this lead before they get the ball back to start the second half. Makai Anderson, number 33, fields the punt. Just tries to get forward for as much as he can. He's going to bring the ball back to the UTSA 43 along the right hash mark. Bunch formation to the right. McCown, that one kind of floated over the top. Not quite sure if he knew where he wanted to put that one. Receiver just catches it and goes down. Clock is still moving. UTSA with 2 timeouts. McCown over the middle. Nice slant pattern. That is going to be Willie McCoy, number 19, on the catch. Senior receiver, able to find some space in the middle of that Rice defense, McCown now marching on this 2-minute drill. McEwen with the nice pattern and a big catch, down to the 23-yard line. 6th catch on the day for number 14. 98 yards, 2 touchdowns, the totals for Devin McEwen heading into halftime. 1st and 10 from the 23. Rice had a little bit of movement on the line, but I think they got back before the snap. McEwen on the deep in cut once again. That is catch number 7, and that'll put his totals up over 100 yards. Rice with a lot of defensive backs on the field. Henry Jr. takes the handoff and ran right into the run blitz that time from the Owls. Loss of 2, 2nd and goal from the 12. McCown looking to throw, has his tight end open in the middle. That is Fishman, backup tight end that time. Absolutely lost in the middle of the field. Dishman, number 80, with his first touchdown of the season. That moves the lead as of now to 13 points, with Chambers looking to add the PAT. PAT is up and good. 6 plays, 57 yards, about 1 minute taken off the clock on that FEOTB pod scoring drive. 21-7 here with 18 seconds as this kickoff is going to land inside the 5. We're going to get a return from Rice out to the 21-yard line. As we get set for the Far End of the Bench halftime show, make sure you check out the Far End of the Bench podcast every Thursday with Jimmy Pilato and Nico Bryant. Keep up with all things Rise of the Roadrunners at FEOTB pod, as we're just going to get a run play from Rice trying to get through the end of this clock and get to halftime back in the locker room and regroup. That'll bring us to the end of the second quarter here in San Antonio. Hard-fought battle, lots of emotions on both sides. Rice wanted to make a statement. If they win, they're back in above 500 territory. Obviously, UTSA looking to keep their streak alive, and that is being carried on the back right now of junior receiver number 14, Devin McEwen. 111 yards on 7 catches so far in today's game. 2 touchdowns. Following that initial touchdown drive from Rice, UTSA has gone on a 21-0 run. Forced a lot of punts, no turnovers from either side so far. And we're going to get set for the start of the second half here from San Antonio. In-state, in-conference rivalry. 3-3 Rice kicking off to 5-0 UTSA. That one's going to bounce at about the goal line and skip through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Roadrunners in the last few weeks, going back to Fort Collins, struggled coming out of the halftime break. Handoff that time goes to Henry Jr. It looked like he had a little bit more space if he'd stayed on his path. Cut back to the inside, only able to pick up 4. You know, Coach Clay Merritt wants to see his team step up coming out of halftime instead of going backwards the way that they have been. McCown on the RPO. Nice pass that time. Number 38, DeCorian Clark on a quick out. All the way past midfield. Down to the Rice 47-yard line. been a couple weeks since we've seen that play. That was very successful, especially when we invaded Kyle Field going all the way back to week 1. If you missed that, make sure you check out the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel. You can watch all of the games and all of the action of this Rise of the Roadrunners series. Henry Jr. following up the big pass play, take it down for a gain of 1 on the inside handoff. Not the yardage totals we're used to seeing from big number 20, only 40 yards on 9 carries. RPO play once again, handoff goes to Robert Henry Jr. along the right edge. He's going to get taken down after a gain of about 4, 3rd down and 5. That tackle was made near the sideline. 3rd and 5, McCown out of the shotgun, fires to Amador II. That's going to be good for about 4. We saw UTSA go for it on 4th down and 2 from inside the 5. Now we have a 4th down and 1 from the Rice 38-yard line. McCown once again finds McEwen. 9th catch of the day. McCown quietly building up a 17 out of 20 performance, over 200 yards passing, as UTSA enjoys this 14-point lead. Henry Jr. being run quite a bit on this drive, trying to milk the clock and get into scoring range. He's going to check out of the game after that last carry, only a yard on the ground. Play action fake goes to John Emery Jr., number 27. McCown rolling, trying to buy some time scrambling. He's just going to throw this one out of bounds and live to fight another day. They are within field goal range, probably at about right at the edge of Brock Chambers' range if they had to settle for 3. Deep pass. Houston Thomas had a step on the safety, but that pass was squeezed just a little bit too tight. Incomplete. 4th down and 9. We're going to get a field goal attempt from Brock Chambers. It was online from the left hash mark, but he doesn't quite have the leg behind it. Once again, UTSA not able to get points on their opening drive of the second half, which was really disappointing, especially because you already gave up a lead after you chose to go on defense first, and now with that second advantage of choosing to go on defense, you're not able to get points. Pistol formation from Rice, and that handoff is going to go backwards about a yard. Chad Banks Jr. on the stop. 2nd and 11. Rice has not found much success outside of that initial touchdown drive. Quentin Jackson takes the handoff from the shotgun formation, and he's taken down by big number 11, Vic Shaw. Remember, Shaw had back-to-back sacks to set up that last scoring drive from UTSA going into halftime. 3rd down and 11. Creighton Jr. finds Cole, but that is going to be short of the yard line to gain. Freshman quarterback taking what he had there, trying to give his guy a chance to run, but UTSA with a nice tackle. And now we get a 4th down and 3 punt. Anderson taken down pretty much immediately, but he secures the catch. 21-yard line is where UTSA will start this next drive. Taking a look at the stats from around the league, your Southwest Sack Exchange has 2 players right now tied for number 1 with 7 sacks on the season, Cameron Blaylock and Kyan Roberts-Day. That pass out of the shotgun formation goes to Robert Henry Jr. for about 8. 2nd and 2. Henry Jr. starting to show a little bit of fatigue. Rice has done a good job of making sure he's felt their contact. Handoff to Henry Jr. He's able to get about a yard back. That's still going to be 3rd down and 1. You know UTSA wants to make more of a statement than what they have right now. 14 points is nice, but you should be leading this team by a lot more. That one on 3rd down and 1 goes through the hands of Devin McEwen. So that's only his 2nd drop of the day. That will bring up 4th down and 1. Chambers is on the punt, and his 2nd kick of the game goes a little bit better than the first. No fair catch interference, out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. 4 minutes gone in this 3rd quarter. Neither team has been able to find any more offensive success. Handoff once again goes to the fullback, this time from Rice, out of the pistol formation. That is Jaron Herron on the carry for about 3. 2nd down and 7. Creighton Jr. leaves it with Jackson in the backfield. He's hawked down on the sidelines from his middle linebacker position. Chad Banks Jr. with his 5th tackle of the game. where the Southwest Sac Exchange becomes a real advantage. 3rd down and 7. They're going to leave it with the running back. They didn't even want to chance the pass rush. And now we have an injury on the Rice offensive line. Brad Bauer, number 74, is going to be helped off the field. Kendrick Blackshire on the last stop for the Roadrunners. Birds in the punt formation. Punt return formation for Makai Anderson. From about the 22-yard line, he goes to the sideline. He'll make it out past the 30, about 10 yards on the return. Eight and 4 is the all-time record between these two squads. Henry Jr. gets the handoff to start another series. Under a minute left to go, but he's able to find his way forward for a gain of 8. Might not have as big of numbers, but he has been very consistent, setting up 2nd and 3rd and shorts. Handoff once again, number 20, Henry Jr. Fighting his way towards midfield. He'll make it out to the 47. Spread formation for the Roadrunners. McCown, play fake. Looking to throw. Goes deep. Amador the second. He's open. Down the sideline inside the 10. Second catch of the day for the sophomore receiver, and that was probably the biggest of the afternoon. Setting up shop at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal. Pistol formation. Handoff goes to Henry Jr. He finds an opening off the edge. Touchdown, Roadrunners. Beep, beep. "20 points, now the lead. UTSA ends the 3rd quarter, putting the ball back in the end zone. Henry Jr. inching closer to double-digit rushing touchdowns on the season. Brock Chambers adds the extra point. Stays the course following that missed field goal earlier on in the quarter. Start of the 4th. The score 28-7. All signs pointing to the 9th straight victory for the Roadrunners, this time behind Coach Clay Stonewall Merritt, who handled the emotional outbursts. Lots of trash talk coming from a team that already feels like they have a superiority complex over you. In a series that the home team dominates a majority of the time, but UTSA, looking to establish that sibling rivalry, already dispatched one little brother in Texas State, looking to do the same with the Rice Owls. That kickoff return found a little bit more space than most, all the way back to the 25, and that is where Rice will set up to try and respond. 3rd quarter was almost scoreless. Rice has been in this game, even though they've trailed since the opening quarter. That pass good for 8. Brad Bauer once again going to go down after trying to come back from being injured on the previous series. Pistol set for the 2nd and 2. Handoff goes to Jaron. That one close to the 1st down marker, but they're going to mark him just short. Hargan stopped at 3rd and inches. Goal line formation from the Owls. Creighton Jr. tried the sneak and he didn't get it. Stuffed by 97, Kane Roberts-Day. 4th and inches. Rice going to go for it on 4th down. Bringing lots of pressure are the Roadrunners, and they just barely get that ball past the 1st down yardage. Almost a huge sequence for the Roadrunners, but unfortunately not able to finish. Diamond formation out of the pistol. Quentin Jackson gets the handoff, good for about 3. Stopped by Shad Banks Jr. from his middle linebacker spot. Nearly 10 tackles for the senior linebacker, captain of this defense. Quick slant that time is complete. Good enough for a 1st down. That's the other really good wide receiver. They have Cole and they have Turner. Really fast receivers on both sides. This one, Turner gets behind the secondary. That is a big, big passing play all the way down to the 27-yard line, and Cameron Blaylock is going to be helped off the field with an injury for the Roadrunners. Rice feeling the desperation of the moment. If they score here, they have a chance if they get an onside kick to at least tie this thing for the first time since the 1st quarter. That's not going to help as we get the 4th sack of the day from the Southwest Sack Exchange. Tucker off the left side, blindside sack, knocking the Rice Owls back to 2nd and 17. Creighton Jr. finding a little bit of open room on the scramble. Freshman showing a little bit of poise there. That pass deep inside the 5 to Artis Cole is good. First down and goal. And now Jackson trying to pound it into the end zone, but he's unable to do so. Knocked down in the backfield all the way back to the 8-yard line. No huddle offense from Rice. 2nd and goal, pass goes to the fullback out of the backfield. He dives across the end zone. Rice gets back into the end zone. Creighton Jr. not necessarily wowing you with his performance, but he has over 130 yards on the day and only missed 2 passes so far, 10 of 12. And now we're going to get an injury for UTSA once again. Johnny Bones III going to be out of this game. Rice has a chance. 3:18 left in the 4th quarter. Onside kick formation. Not a good bounce. UTSA easily recovers the football. Now it's all about moving the ball, but also keeping that clock moving as well. Running game hasn't been stellar, but Henry Jr. has been consistent. Counts found McEwen almost a dozen times. Houston Thomas. Oh no, the big tight end fumbled. Ball is out. It's scooped up by Rice. What a sequence. It's being returned from the 50 to the 40. McCown. Nice hustle play from the quarterback, but Houston Thomas, the junior tight end, after making a huge catch over the middle of the field, just drops the football at the end of the play. Clay Merritt's going to call a timeout, and I think that's going to be enough time to trigger a booth review. I think Merritt was trying to make sure his team stayed calm and poised, trying to give them a little bit of a break before the defense had to go back out on the field. As we see the replay here, it looks like Houston Thomas was down before the ball came out. So lucky break for the Birds offense, but that one was almost an incredibly negative situation. We've seen 4th quarter turnovers haunt this team earlier on in Fort Collins. That one was almost just as big. Nonetheless, 1st down and 10 now for the Roadrunners. Amador II is going to get the pop pass on the response play from the fumble. He's got open space to the 5. Inside the goal line, touchdown! Hits the pylon on the right sideline. As they like to say on the basketball court, ball don't lie. McCown, 22 of 28 on the day, 313 yards, and that is his 4th touchdown pass of the day. Chambers adds his 5th extra point, and now the score 35-14, back out to a 21-point lead for the Birds. 3:05 left to go in the 4th quarter. Chambers puts this one all the way to the goal line on the ensuing kickoff. Good coverage. Able to knock Rice down inside the 15 at the 12. Travis Scott once again in the speakers here inside the Alamo Dome. Southwest Sack Exchange trying to get pressure on Creighton Jr. Don't quite get the sack, but they're able to effect the pass that time. Number 93, Cameron Blaylock, able to return from his injury and make an impact that time. Nickel package in for UTSA. Creighton Jr. throws to Cole. And now we're going to get some hurry up from the Owls once again. Still need a touchdown, an onside kick, and they need their defense to get stops, which they haven't been able to do consistently. Creighton Jr., under a lot of pressure, tried to get that one deep over the middle. David Martin, nice pass coverage, number 30, able to knock that pass down. 4th and 2. Pistol formation, 2 tight ends in the backfield. Jackson stuffed in the backfield on 4th down. Tyan Milton from his safety position. And now the Roadrunners will start inside the Rice 20. Handoff on the first play of the series. Henry Jr. fights his way forward for 3 yards. Merritt is leaning on his leadership right now, as Shad Banks Jr.'s had a hell of a day on the defensive side. McEwen and McCown both having stellar days, but now Robert Henry Jr. is here to body blow your way to the end of the game. That pass trying to go to Houston Thomas. Normally sure-handed, not able to hold on to that one. Remember, he was bailed out by the booth review of that fumble on the most recent offensive possession. McEwen on the stop pattern, it's complete. When in doubt, he's looking for 14. I don't know if Rice is smart enough to figure that out yet, but so far that's been the sequence. Now McCown on the read option trying to run it in. Clay Wyatt is going to be down on an injury, but that was a huge play from the Rice interior defensive line. Blake Bonish, who we talked about on our blog series, which everybody can go back and check out all the blogs written so far this season. Learn the players behind the rise of the Roadrunners on feotbpod.org. McCown makes an adjustment at the line of scrimmage, fires to his tight end, Houston Thomas. Pressure in his face, but it doesn't matter. Touchdown, Roadrunners! Now big number 88 is going to hit the fadeaway in the end zone. 41 points on the day for this Roadrunner offense. Most that they've scored since they hosted Maryland back here in the Dome. All signs pointing to a 6-0 start, second time in program history at the FBS level. First time since Coach Coker in their inaugural season. Kickoff return starts from inside the 5, and he's able to get past the 15 along the right hash mark. Rice now trying to respond. They at least want to show that they have a little bit of wherewithal to stay up with this UTSA defense. That run goes for 6. Quentin Jackson, 19 carry, 46 yards on the day. So he's not had the performances we've become used to seeing. Ooh, big hit from Leonard that time. Ty Leonard makes a stop at the line of scrimmage. Shad Banks Jr. unfortunately down, and it looks like he's in a lot of pain. Excuse me, that was number 40, Brandon Tucker, with the tackle. Diamond formation out of the pistol. 3rd down and 4, under 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Handoff going to the left side. That one is stuffed. Kendrick Blackshire making up for the loss of Shad Banks Jr. That is his 4th tackle on the day. Another 4th down attempt coming from the Rice offense. Creighton Jr. unable to get the pass off. He is sacked. Jimmy Wyrick from the safety position. UTSA dials up the blitz at the right time, and they will start inside the 15 of Rice once again. Henry Jr. gets the handoff trying to go up the middle, only good for about a gain of 1. A couple of Rice defenders going to go down with injuries on the play. 2nd and 9 from the 12. Shotgun formation. Let's see if they try and throw for it with McCown once again. Amador the second. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Roadrunners. The sophomore slot receiver gets into the end zone for the 2nd time. The junior quarterback tosses his 5th passing touchdown. 6th passing touchdown. It's hard to keep up when they're scoring like this. I tell you what, the ROTC is getting a hell of a workout. 49 points, the total on the day. Absolutely flexing their muscles over little brother Rice right now. Here on 94.3 The Bird and the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel. Thank you very much to the Far End of the Bench for giving us a platform to house this Rise of the Roadrunners series and to bring the Southwest beauty of Group of 5 football to your internet screens. 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Quentin Jackson is stuffed in the backfield from another safety position, and he's going to be getting up gingerly and walk off the field under his own power. Sirius Dumas, a cornerback, that time making a big stop. 2nd and 12, 1:14 to play. Screen pass set up to the left side. Nice little play action that time. Spin move gets him across the 1st down yardage. Patrick Creighton Jr. pushing his yardage total to 155 yards on the day, 12 of 16 passing. As a freshman, that is a pretty good outing against this defense. Handoff going up the middle, and Vic Shaw with his 6th tackle of the day. Under a minute to play here, 2nd down and 13 following the tackle for loss. Creighton Jr. going to load one up deep Oh, and they got it. Artis Cole. All the way inside Roadrunner territory to the 27. Creighton Jr. now over 200 yards passing. What a throw. And we're going to get another deep shot, and this one's caught as well. Cole with back-to-back huge plays. It's going to be another touchdown for the Rice Owls. Artis Cole is second touchdown. This is the most points given up since Fort Collins. Not going to be a 100% satisfactory feeling when Rice leaves the Alamo Dome. It will be nice to continue your winning streak, but you feel like this team does not have the talent to keep up with you, yet they continue to score even deep into this fourth quarter. Big takeaways on the day. We talked about it at the beginning. Lots of trash talk on both sides. Ultimately, UTSA is now going to put on their 9th win in a row in this series. Rice proved that they're not absolutely terrible at football, but they are still a medical school or an academic school, whatever you want to say. Owen McCown with a pass completion, and now we're going to get some no-huddle offense. UTSA wanting to send a message after that last score from the Owls. Pass goes to Thomas. That is going to be knocked out of bounds, but first down yardage. 14 seconds on the clock. I feel like we're going to get a couple more deep shots from this UTSA team. Clay Merritt giving his players what they want. They don't want this bad taste in their mouth following a score from an inferior opponent. Is now McCown scrambling around trying to buy some time. Deep to Amador the second, and it is complete. Oh, excuse me, that's McEwen. McEwen on the scramble drill, stayed in front of his quarterback's eyes. All the way from the right sideline down back into the middle of the field. What a play. Way to keep it alive that time from McCown. Final play of this game. Looking to throw are the Roadrunners, going deep into the end zone for DeCorian Clark. Too much. So UTSA not able to get the final score, but they do come away with the victory. Huge conference win, huge in-state rivalry win. Rice is going to continue to complain that they are not little brother, but I will sit here and say Owen McCown nearly dropped 400 yards passing, 80% completion, and 7 touchdowns on your head. I say nearly because he got 355 yards passing, 77% completion percentage, and only 6 touchdowns, excuse me. Thank you very much for tuning in to another presentation of the Rise of the Roadrunners series from the San Antonio Alamo Dome. Myself, Frankie the Horn Calderon on 94.3 The Bird and the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel. We are going to send it back live to the studio with Jimmy Pilato. That is exactly what we were looking for. Response from the trash talk. I know that we talked about all the emotions going into it. We saw that play out early as Rice able to take the first lead of any team playing against UTSA this season, 7-0 in the first quarter. From there, UTSA roared back, tied the game early on in the first quarter, able to take the lead into halftime, 21-7. From there, never really looked back. The defense, 5 sacks on the day. Shad Banks Jr., almost 10 tackles by himself. Kendrick Blackshire from the middle linebacker positions, making life very difficult for Patrick Creighton. I wouldn't say very difficult because the freshman did have another solid performance. He will be good moving forward. Rice, if they're able to keep him, if he's not looking at the transfer portal, I think they might be something to worry about. Not necessarily worry about, but they won't be much of a little brother. I still say Texas State, Rice, UTSA. Thank you very much for Frankie the Horn Calderon. Thank you, everybody who tuned in on 94.3 The Bird and the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel. Make sure you check out myself and my co-host Nico Bryant every Thursday on the Far End of the Bench podcast, especially now with the NFL season in full swing, college football season in full swing. I know this is a little bit of a nice break from reality, but real football is back. So obviously we're going to be paying attention and keeping you informed with all of those things. At FEOTB Pod, all social media platforms, make sure that you bookmark feotbpod.org. For myself, Jimmy Pilato, this has been Rise of the Roadrunners, Week 6. We will see you guys next time.
If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit